How to create a die line. A die line is needed for almost all forms of packaging. And a die line is basically an outline of the box as if you were to unglue it and lay it flat on the table. Then create artwork that shows all the edges and folds, windows, and the glue areas. And you may need to take into consideration the thickness of the stock you're printing on, so when folded, all edges line up and your product sits into it nicely. So here's how we do die lines. First, we determine the size needed by measuring your product. And then we make some assumptions to the type of packaging needed. So it may require a glued bottom so your product doesn't fall through, or you want to display it properly through a window in the package. It may require an insert to hold your product straight and true, so that if you're not just putting a product into the package and it falls off to the side and doesn't look professional, that's not going to help sales. It may require a peg hook hole. Now, a peg hook could be handled a couple different ways, so we need to make some decisions based on how we think your product's going to be displayed in store. So now that we've got that information done, now we head to the computer to use a program called Adobe Illustrator. A lot of you may have familiarity with that particular program, but that's an industry standard for all artwork that all printers use for their industry. Now, some larger organizations may use some type of proprietary software to help them create die lines in-house, which is tied into their back end, which gives them better ideas of how corrugate may be used or the ink that's going to be used for it. But for our needs, we're going to be using Illustrator alone, which does a very good job. So now that we've got a die line, now we can work with a printer that we think is appropriate for your project. And they'll know exactly what we're asking for, how to price it, and how long it's going to take to accomplish. Now we've got a good idea of your goals and your needs, and we've created an estimate for both the creative charges and the printing, and you've accepted to work with us. That's fantastic. Now the next step is for us to get to work.